Hey guys, Doug here from Spooky Villages. I have another piece review for today, and it's a doozy. Today I have the Monsters Ball. You know, there's a good amount of people who this is their favorite piece, and it's one of my top ones. So the theming of the Monsters Ball is pretty simple. Basically, you've got most of the famous monsters, you know, like the Invisible Man and Woman, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, etc. And they're dancing around at a spooky ball. And there's a mad organist that's playing music on the top, which goes along with the theme of it, and it's just a revolving dance floor with insane lights. This is probably the best lit piece from either Department 56 or Lemax. Just turning this thing on is a huge show. It's like a concert basically taking place. The lights on the braziers light up, there's all sorts of like strobing. There's a mirror on the back of the piece which actually reflects more of the light to make it even crazier. And, you know, and then you've got the motion on top of everything. So, you know, as I mentioned, you actually have the dancing monsters, but then you have on top, there's a dragon that circles around. The thing you have to know about this building is it's gigantic. I think that this is the biggest Spooky Town building that there is, at least in as far as like, you know, the table space it requires. The Isle of Doom might be a little bit bigger, but I don't think it's as wide, or at the very least, it's the same width or close. So this is pretty much about as big as you're going to get. That covers my bases. It's a fairly quiet piece. You can hear the motor on it and the mechanism a little bit, but it's not that loud when you run it without the music and everything. And the music on this is fantastic with the sound. I'll play that at the end as I do all the pieces with music and sound. But it won't drown anything out. This isn't like a Torture Factory or the RIP Mausoleum or anything like that with the, you know, super loud mechanisms. Another thing you should know with this piece, there's not a lot to theme with it exactly. I know that's why some people don't care for this piece because of that. It's sort of on its own. What I mean by that is, well, the pieces are really big, first off, okay, the figures in it. It's like one of the few buildings that the actual figures are sort of in scale with the whole building, which makes the whole thing big, which is the dance floor. And there's not a whole lot that themes directly with it, i.e. it's not like part of the Mummy line, or the Pirate line, or like a farm, or even like the spooky trick-or-treat style houses. You know, it's kind of its own thing. But I think that's fine for this. How a lot of people display this in their big displays is kind of set it off by itself or let it be its own thing. I know whenever I displayed this, that's kind of what I would do. The plus in that is that you don't need to theme it with anything, really. If you're interested in these buildings but you don't know where to begin, or you're worried that it's too much money to get involved with all these, buying all the figures and everything, and it's kind of overwhelming, go ahead and get the Monsters Ball. Yes, it's expensive. It came out in 2005, by the way. It's still available. It runs around $100, give or take, where you find it. If you buy it new, you can find these used as well, you know. Typically, it's a more expensive piece, but again, you're getting, you know, a gigantic building with the best-in-class sound and lights, great animation and theming. Something you also might want to bear in mind is that when you light this piece up, or, you know, when you run it, whether the sound is not there, the lighting is so insane in here that it could be distracting if you put it, I don't know, you know, if your display's like in your living room or something where you're always watching TV or something like that. You just want to know, you can pretty much see this piece from orbit almost. It's that bright and that crazy, which I love. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. This is about as good as Lemax gets, or any building for that matter. If you're looking for your first building to start a collection, or you just want one building to display by itself, you have no interest in a full collection, you should check out the Monsters Ball. It's one of the best, and you aren't going to find many Halloween mini villagers who disagree with that assessment. Alright, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time, and here it is with the music and sounds.
Let me punch your ticket. Let me punch your ticket.